guys and dolls. So I just got a wee tip from my partner, because I was struggling to start the camera because I suffer from really cold hands all my life, and I've been struggling to start the camera, and like with my gloves on. So I need to start the camera, then put my gloves on, and she said to me, use your tongue. And it works. It actually works. So it does. Yeah. So, and I've got my, as you can see right there, I have my microphone all thingied up. So it's Wi-Fi now. Yeah. So I think what the problem was when I was using it, you need to take the CW Wi-Fi connection. You need to take that out. So you do, for it to work. Yeah. So yeah, that was just something very, very, very silly that I should have knew what was working. Yeah, but all good, all good. Oh, you going to say hello? Hello, David. It's just my neighbour with his dog out. Going for a wee walk, so we are. Just going a wee walk, doing my video from my channels and stuff. Well, YouTube. This one's for YouTube. Yeah.
For what?
From my YouTube channel. Getting quite famous, David. Yes, young David. Yeah, so yeah, my neighbours are really nice. Yeah, the young man, he's just a wee cracker, like, you know what I mean. And his dad, he was the one that went in and got my. So whenever my wife, Tulip, calm down. So whenever my wife was, all right, bud, all right, son, dying, she got enough time to phone an ambulance, but my Ridgeback was a guard dog. Oh, seriously, like, you know. So yeah, my big Ridgeback was a guard dog and didn't let the ambulance crew in. And so my neighbour who I just bumped into there, he went and got the dog out for the ambulance crew. I don't know how long it took. I don't know how long they couldn't get in for, you know. I'm not going to go down that road today, guys. No, we'll just leave it at that. So, yeah, you know, so I'm very lucky where I live. My neighbours are all really, really good. Also, my neighbour was the one who took me to the hospital when I basically died. My body was shutting everything down to keep my heartbeat alive, keep me alive, keep my heartbeat going. It wasn't a nice experience, you know, but, you know, I've got through it, you know what I mean, and I think I'm a better man for it, you know. I'm not going to knock myself for it. I don't expect anybody else to still knock me for it now, you know. It is what it is, and I've been through that journey and I came out the other end, and it could have been so different, you know, guys. But, yeah, it's, yeah, it was a hard time, you know, really, really hard time, you know what I mean, but, I've got through it. I'm better now, a lot better. I'm getting a lot of help now, and I've got this activism that's keeping me going and keep me occupied, and it's not something that I'm doing out of hatred, I promise you guys, it's nothing like that. It's not something that I enjoy doing. It's not something I relish, you know. I wish we didn't have to do this. I wish our government would sort it out and stop bringing all these illegal immigrants and letting them all come in. They got up to 1,000 a day of men who are coming here to, you know, we're seeing the videos now. We're starting to see the videos. Well, you're not going to see them if you're watching BBC and Sky News, guys. That's the truth of it. You know, you won't see none of these things. Mr. Farage's, not that I've got any love for the guy, but, you know, he's starting to do what Tommy was doing 15 years ago now, a wee bit late on the uptake, and I don't think I can forgive him for it, because Nigel Farage bad-mouthed Tommy so many times. He's tried to throw him under the bus at Southport stuff. I've done a video about it, guys, about the Farage thing. Tommy Robinson actually shared it on his platform, and thanked me personally for it. So I'm quite sure if you flick down to my videos, you'll see it. You'll just look for Farage, you'll find it, you know. And I've documented everything. I think there's actually 2. I'd watch the second one I put up, because that's got all the videos on it that Farage has, where he's bad-mouthed Tommy. Really bad. Like, this is This is a man who says he represents the working class, but yet picks on one of our heroes. You know, just because it sits right with the establishment who sit above him, because he's not one of us. You know, I'm not going to go into it. I've already said my piece about him. Like I said, I don't want to keep going on and on, guys, about the same stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's frustrating, really, really frustrating. You know, but he is starting to do stuff now, and he brought a video out the other day about this immigrant who has documented this whole way over. And we're seeing videos of these guys saying, "Oh, we're coming for the money" and all that. We know they're coming for the money, and no matter what the government try to say to us, we know we're not stupid. When you give somebody £2,000 in cash to spend, let's say £1,500 in cash to spend a month and £500 rent paid, then obviously it's going to attract the worst of the worst. Our worst of our worst are taking advantage of the situation. Why wouldn't the worst from other countries do it? Think about it. I know guys, loads of guys, from all different areas I've been in, Scotland, Northern Ireland, England, all benefit frauds, all taking the benefit for what they can get. And they're working. And on top of that, they're working. Cash in hand, 50, 60, 80 quid a day in some cases, you know what I mean? So you got to think about that for a wee minute. Let's just say it's 50 quid a day and they work 5 days a week. That's 250 quid a week, you know, on top of the money they're getting. So they get £2,000 from the government, right? £1,500 cash, 500 quid to get the rent paid, and then another £1,000 on top of that. You know, how many of you would like that? £3,500 a month, you know? Wouldn't that be nice? Of course it would. Of course it would. You know? I get £600 a month. That's what I get. £600 a month on my rent paid, you know? And I have to put my own money to the rent as well. Out of that £600, you know? But this is what I'm trying to say, guys. You know, anybody that tells you that they're not coming over for the benefits, you know they're just lying. You know they've got a hidden agenda. You know they just want to protect these people, and they don't really care about anything else. You know what I mean? And they're also coming over for our vulnerable children, because we are a nation of vulnerable children. I keep telling everybody that. I'm surrounded by broken families. All our working class areas, I've seen them with my own eyes. I've seen them in this village. I've seen young girls, so I have, in this village. And I've seen them in the car of a man, you know, that owned the local shop, you know what I mean? Driving them about on their own, and the mothers, you know, don't get me started. It makes me so angry, because when I was trying to highlight it at the time of what was going on, I was being called a racist, you know what I mean? Oh, a racist, you know what I mean? This guy, what? Are you for real? Are you all for real? You need to be stupid if you didn't think this guy, all these young children hanging about that shop, and you're all trying to tell me that there was nothing untoward about it. Come on, I'll tell you a story. Here's a story about this character, right? I'm not going to name anybody, right? Everybody that's watching this from for where I am from will know exactly what I'm talking about. So I walked along. I've been out with my dog, right? Daisy it was at the time. She's no longer here anymore, right? And I'm walking along with my dog, and I've got to the shop, and I've tied my wee dog. There's a chair, this old ragged thing that sits out all night, tied her to the leg of the chair. And the guy that owned the shop was outside the shop, next to this chair, taking stuff out of the boot of his car. So I went in, grabbed a can of Pepsi, put the 50p on the counter, and walked out to say, the money's on the counter, mate. And he's went, oh, your dog's over there. Because he must have banged the door, because she was very skittery with metal noises for some reason. So he must have slammed the door, and it frightened her, and she's run over next to the post box. So I picked the chair up. He knows the chair's knocked over and everything, right? And I went, thank you, went and grabbed the dog, and I went about my business. 3 hours later, right, guys, 3 hours later, I'm out with my best mate, Pedro, that I've told you about. Now, Pedro's got one of my pups from my boy and Daisy, right? So Tulip, that's Tulip, right? Tulip is my mate's dog's daughter, right? So it's my Daisy and my boy granddaughter, this one, right? So I'm out with Winston, who's her dad, which is my mate's dog, and I've got Tulip with me. And there's these three wee schoolgirls all sitting outside this shop, and I'm holding the dogs, and Pedro's went into the shop. And the girls are looking at the dogs, wee pugs, you know, kids are like with dogs, and especially her, she's a teacup pug, so she looks like a puppy. And they're like, oh, not like, that's Tulip, that's Winston, that's Tulip's dad, you know, and they're like, oh, and I'm, you know, Daisy and Boy, because they all know me and they know my dogs. I'm like, you know Daisy and Boy? And they're like, yeah, well, that's Daisy and Boy is Winston's mum and dad. And so that's Daisy and Boy's granddaughter. And they're like, oh. The next thing, this character, right, Pakistani guy, comes out, and he's like, who you fucking bastard? I'm like, what the fuck? Like, because I don't have any rapport with the guy, you know. I'm polite, and if I needed anything at the shop, I would just be polite. I know, but I never got on with him or had thingy the time of day with the guy. Because he was selling alcohol and cigarettes to all the young ones, you know, and everybody knows that. There's not one person where I live will say, oh no, he's wrong. 100%, everybody knew it. And I didn't like that, you know. And so he came out and he started verbally abusing me. Really bad. Really, really bad in front of all these girls, right? But he stood behind the girls. I couldn't understand what was going on. You knocked my chair over, your dog knocked my chair over. I'm like, you were there. What's going on? And I couldn't understand. I was really confused because he was being really, really, really brutally, violently, like verbally. You know, I've never heard and I'm not kidding you. I'm from jail. I've done my jail. I've been around some heavy boys in my day. And this was just horribleness that came out of his mouth, right? So I'm losing it at this stage. You can imagine the only thing stopping me going for him right now is the kids in front of me. And so I'm like absolutely so angry. So it's almost at the stage where I'm losing it. Now, I'm going to just break this story. I have another big mate, lives around the corner. He's a big UFC fighter, huge big guy, right? Absolute gentleman, right? And I was talking to him a couple of days before, telling him every time I go out I get into trouble, you know, because that's what it was like at that time. Every time I left the door, I was getting into a fight, or somebody was bad, just doing me nothing, you know, and silly things, you know, people getting involved in things that have nothing to do with them. And I was reacting, and I was telling him, I don't know what it is, why is it happening to me and that? And he's like, no, you know. So he's came round the corner as this is all kicking off, and I've went for him, but my big mate's grabbed me and lifted me up and carried me away. And as he's carrying me away, he goes, I understand what you're talking about now. I swear to God, you can't. This is all 100% truth. So I fell out with my mate Pedro because he never had my back, you know what I mean? But he's not that type of guy, you know. To be honest with you, he's not that type of guy, you know. I would never phone him up for anything like that because I wouldn't, because it would be a waste of time if I'm honest, you know what I mean? But yeah, he never had my back, and I was sort of left on my own to deal with this character when I hadn't done nothing wrong, you know, absolutely nothing wrong. So it took me a couple of days to try and get my head around it, you know. I was really confused, really, really confused. Now, I swear on my mother's grave, what I'm telling you here, what's coming out of my mouth right now is the God's honest truth. On my mother's grave, right? May God strike me down. This is what I'm telling you, the God's honest truth. I could not understand what was going on, why this guy behaved like this, because he was there when it first happened, when it was just me and him. He seen the chair get knocked over. He had parked the car on the curb, so the boot was right at the door. The chair was right next to the door. He was there. And he told me where my dog was and everything after knocking the chair over, because the dog was over at the post box. And then I realised it was jealousy. The guy was jealous because I was talking to them wee lassies. And this is an appeal to anybody in my area that knows, like I understand one of the mothers, you know, on the cheek, one of the sons had the cheek to come on Facebook. You know, I'm so angry, so angry at this one, like, he had a cheek to come on and say something a wee bit nasty, you know. He wouldn't say it to my face, you know what I mean? None of them have the balls to say anything to my face. This is the best about it. But the mother, you know, I bumped into her a wee while later. She was in St. John's, you know. So she had problems herself, and I think it was the psychology, but she was in a ward, you know what I mean? Mental health, you know what I mean? So, you see, this is the type, this is what I'm saying, these are the type that they go for, you know? These, as far as I'm concerned, these are vulnerable kids. I don't care what anybody says, you know what I mean? And everybody where I live will be agreeing with me. They won't come out and agree with me, but they will nod in their heads because they'll know exactly who I'm talking about. And they'll be nodding their heads going, yeah, he's right, And I got a lot of flack for that, so I did. A lot of flack for that. And, but I appeal to any of them girls to come and speak to me if there's anything untoward that happened. Because you're going to come out and talk about it one day. Because I know for a fact, 110%, an adult man that age is not going to be running about with kids under 16 like that. And there's a few mothers around me that know exactly what was going on. But you got to understand, this shop was getting robbed silly, Some of these girls were working in this shop. I can remember going into this shop with a very unflavoured person. I'll tell you that now, very unsavoury person, came into my life and caused a lot of problems with me and my partner. I'll maybe talk about it sometime because it fucking still boils my blood. It really does, really, I haven't forgot it, but you know me, I don't forget about nothing. This will never leave me, I'll never, ever, ever forget this, But I remember going in and I was getting a bottle, we were having a barbecue and I was wanting to get a bottle of vodka. Bottle of Smirnoff Raspberry, quite expensive. And the girl was like, oh, don't pay for it, it's okay. Because they all work out, you see. They were robbing them blind. And do you know why they were robbing? Because let me tell you something. Pakistani men who own these corner shops will not let anybody rob them blind. You get me? They're no stupid. But you can understand the whole situation here, can't you guys? And all these women were implicit. They're all implicit, They were getting free drink, free vapes, free fags, free everything, free food. And as far as I'm concerned, offering their children up. There's no two ways about it, Thank God that man's gone and he just disappeared all of a sudden. He just got, boom, gone, And I know something's happened. I know for a fact something's happened. So I'm appealing to anybody out there that knows anything to come and speak to me about it. Because it's personal, It's fucking personal to me, I took flack from people around here because of my stance with that man. Because everybody just took it for granted I was racist, Nobody ever asked to speak to me. Did I know Muslims? Of course I know Muslims. I'm friends with Muslims. I've got more friends than any of these people that's called me racist have. I'll tell you that for nothing. I'm sorry for being a bit schizo. This is something that's happened to me that still doesn't sit right with me. It's unforgivable how some of these people have behaved. Unforgivable. So it is. And I know other things that's going on behind closed doors with these people, you know what I mean? And the vulnerable children that they have around them. It's unforgivable, I will one day, maybe soon, talk all about it, And I hope they see us and they're going, oh shit, you know what I mean? You better be going, oh shit. Because you're all wrongins as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely disgusting. The price, people... I'm so angry. I'm sorry, guys. You know what I mean? It's I shouldn't even start speaking about it because this is where it goes, and it winds me up, But this is the new me, This is the new me. I'm cool and calm. I'm not bothered. You know what I mean? If the right, I've got to be careful what I say. I ain't forgetting. That's for sure. I ain't forgetting. And there's other people around that as well. Got my partner involved in stuff she'd never been involved in, when she was drunk. I'll never forgive them for it. Nor will their family, nor will her family. And she belongs to one of the biggest families in Glasgow. And I've already had people through from Glasgow, 2 carloads, and I had to beg them not to go through the door. I had to beg them in their street because there was that many kids hanging outside the door. I had to beg them not to go through the door. Oh, they really don't know. They have no clue. See, this is a thing. They don't know. They don't know me. They don't know anything about me. But they behave like gangsters. They behave like gangsters in West Lothian, you know what I mean? Fuck's sake. But, yeah. It's no Glasgow. It's no Liverpool. And it's not Belfast. Know your place, guys. You know what I mean? Know your place. But That's the neck of the world is, you know what I mean? This is why it's one of the most vulnerable kids, you know? And I felt as if as well at that time that even turned the kids against me. You know what I mean? And I was only looking out for them. And I swear to God, because I've been abused myself as a child and groomed, I know exactly how they work, you know? And I also know the type of kids that they target, you know what I mean? And I only need to be speaking to a child for 15, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and I'll know, I can tell you how vulnerable they are. You know what I mean? Some kids, you just need to look at them, you know? And they're the ones that are at most risk. Oh, see, you calm down. We pain across my chest there, right across the top of my chest. That's just because this is the fact. See, this is me talking about my trauma, you know, because even though I'm talking, my head's flashing back and forth and all sorts of things are popping up. And it breaks my heart, guys. It really does break my heart, you know, to see what goes on. And to see it in a place like this, a beautiful wee place like this, you know, because it only takes one man. You know, I'm not even going to go on about the one before him. Uncle, that's what they called him. You know, and I've got a fucking stuck and bring you eyewitness fucking accounts of that one, like, you know. He was an all wrong, like, you know. Oh, calm down. Deep breath. Yeah, it does affect me, guys, you know. So you can imagine what it was like back then, you know. This is a year ago, you know, and I was seeing all this happening, you know. Yeah, and then being threatened by him like that because I was talking to his girls. Sort of feels like, guys, that's what it seemed. You know, at the end of the day, after I've spoke to a few people about it, it can only be that. There's there's nothing else it could have been, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's pretty sad. Very, very sad, you know? And, yeah, this is a little village, guys, you know, in the middle of nowhere. And even they're getting affected by it. You know, need to be careful, man. But yeah, my body's going through all sorts, you know, after stopping the smoking and that. It's like trying to get back to normal. I was felt strange yesterday, like coming home. So I couldn't get a breath and that, but I think it was just the cold and the anxiety and just everything that was happening. It wasn't the best of protests. And one of our guys, you know, ended up getting drunk and that, and he ended up in hospital as well. What I found out, you know what I mean? He's lucky some people found him, you know, apparently, but it died of hypothermia. Just young boys, just new to Unite the North, and probably nerves meeting us all for the first time, because we're trying to bring the young ones in, because, like, people listen to the young ones, you know. I'm going to bring you the speech. I'm going to get the guy to do the speech himself, because it was too windy. And there was other people saying stuff, and it was just horrible, man. It wasn't right. Nothing, it didn't sound right. It was the wind and where it was positioned, and they'd done it right next to a fucking generator. You know what I mean? Honestly, man, you know, makes you think twice about some things, you know, when you get involved in things, you know what I mean? But I'm going to get young Harry to do the speech to camera in a nice quiet place, the exact same speech, and I'm going to bring it to you because you need to hear it. This is a 22-year-old young man, and the speech says everything, you know. I'm not going to say any more. The speech says everything, you know. So that will be coming to you within the next 2 days. If not tomorrow, I'll bring that to you, you know. So look out for it, guys. It will be coming. It will be young Harry. I'll call it young Harry. Young Harry's speech, so you all know exactly what it is. I hope the mic's working okay. It's all picking me up okay. It's not rubbing against anything. This is one of a mic that I've got myself that I thought was broken, but it was actually, I think it was, there was when you put your camera on the video, there's a wee arrow at the top and you bring it down and you need to click something in them, and there's a microphone bit and you need to click external mic, you know, and I didn't do that. So every time I was using it, it wasn't working. I'm like, oh, what's going on? Oh, I need to calm down. I didn't like that. That scared me a wee bit. So it did, guys, if I'm honest, you know. Oh, right across my chest. That's a wee shooting pain, you know. Just a pain that you shouldn't really be getting. But I know it's just stress, anxiety, and talking about this stuff. And also stopping smoking, you know. But, yeah, apart from that, I live in an absolutely amazing wee village, you know. couple of headers, you know what I mean? That not many, just a few guys a bit better, you know. Don't really understand stuff, you know what I mean? Like Green Brigade, you know what I mean? And both sides, you know what I mean? But never been to Belfast in their lives, know nothing about Republican movement. They don't realise that the actual IRA hit them more than I do, because they bringing our country and that into their nonsense at their football games, you know what I mean? But I just look at them and think they're just young, silly boys that have no clue about the world, you know, and they live in a wee village and, you know, they know no better, you know what I mean? They haven't been out of this village and they probably will never leave this village, you know. I don't have nothing against that, like, but if you're going to be sectarian and bitter and all that and get on like a header and be, like, have a hatred towards somebody else just because they're a Protestant or because they support Rangers, and I ain't got much time for you. You're just, you're never going to be anybody in life, you know. You may think, you know what I mean, in your wee village you might be somebody, but realistically in the world, you're not going to go anywhere in life with that attitude. And it's sad. It is. It's sad, you know. But like I say, I'm available. Everybody knows where I am. I'm available to anybody who wants to chat with me about anything. I back up everything I say, you know. A lot of people have a lot of things to say about me behind my back, but they've got nothing to say to my face, you know. And I found that all my life, you know what I mean. And it's more, I don't know if it's because I'm not a hateful person. I've never been hateful, you know what I mean. But I will call out hatred when I see it. You know, I woke up one morning and there was IRA painted all over my farm village. An IRA in West Lothian, in Scotland. You know what I mean? Fucking 15 years after the ceasefire, the IRA stopped fucking, yeah, you know what I mean? Oh, don't get me, it's fucking really annoys me, you know what I mean? But like I say, they don't understand. They're not involved. They've never been involved. They've never even seen a gun. You know what I mean? And it's embarrassing, you know. They probably wouldn't even support Celtic if it wasn't for the hatred, you know what I mean? Or because they would support Livingston, wouldn't they? Why would somebody from Livingston support a Glasgow team? Doesn't make any sense to me, unless you're just a hatred. You just hating people. You know what I mean? Especially when you're in the Green Brigade or the Bears. You know what I mean? It's a bit extreme for me. If you want to go and watch a game of football, go and enjoy your football. Enjoy it. Support your football players. Get behind them. Get interested in all your team and your football players and history of your thingy. Don't need to be hateful, you know. Don't need to sing sectarian songs, you know what I mean? You're just letting yourself down. You're just showing everybody who you really are. You know, in your wee group when you're there, everybody might think, you know, in your pub and all that, the old firm game, you think you're one of the boys and all that, but everybody else looking at you think you're just not right. Or they think you're just a hateful person. Got everything you're born on this planet, right? You're brought into this planet. And everything you can get involved in, everything you can support, you choose to do that. That speaks volumes about you, so it does. It really does, you know. When I chose to do something, I'd give my life up for it. You know, I had 4 attempts in my life. Spent half my time in prison. That's dedication, that's commitment. I didn't go to the football and shout hatred. I didn't. I really didn't. Maybe when I was a wee boy, when I didn't know any better. But there's nobody in this country will ever say Freedom Dad supports Rangers, you know. And you do not know how many people think I support Rangers because I'm a Protestant from Belfast. They don't know that we had loyalist prisoners in the Crumlin Road prison and in the maze wearing Celtic tops, Protestant loyalist prisoners supporting Celtic. They haven't got a clue. They have not. This is the thing, and they never ask, or they're not interested. They just think, I'm a Celtic supporter and I hate Rangers and I hate Prods and all the rest of it, you know what I mean? And the other way around, exactly the other way around, you know? And it's one of my pet hates, if I'm honest, you know? It's getting a wee bit, because I'm learning myself, I'm learning about myself. I'm learning a lot about myself right now, and yeah, all conquers. All conquers. Not the conquers. There's none there, they're all gone. There's one in that. Oh, I fucking love conkers. I've got my glasses on so I can't see. There's another one there too. Keep them for later. Oh, there's another one. Oh, it looks a beauty. Let's have a look at this, guys. Nah, it's a small one. Right, I'm going to stop and do this. That's mental. That's mental. Behave. Right, I'll keep these two for later. I'll crack them open later. um, yeah, I forgot that conker tree was there. Uh, chestnuts, I think they're called chestnuts. Yeah, you usually make them as chestnuts. I don't know conker. I grew up with conker. You know, I mean, conkers. But no, I'm learning more about myself, starting to understand myself. I'm starting to understand other people and the way their minds think, you know. And before, when I thought they were alright, these guys, and, you know, because they spoke to me and all, but then I'm starting to realise now that they probably hate my guts, you know. They probably talk about me behind my back. There's a couple I've seen, you know what I mean? Just, I know things, you know what I mean? And, yeah, this is the thing. They can't keep their own piss, these guys, you know what I mean? They all bad mouth each other behind each other's backs. Get a bit of drink in them and that's them, you know. But, yeah. And half of them are best mates. That's the best about it. You can't make it up. Like, you cannot make this stuff up, you know. But, yeah, it is what it is. Right, chill up, I'm going to let her off. But, yeah, wee bit of frustration coming out today. Don't know why. Don't know where it came from, guys. So I apologise for bringing the tone down like that. But, you know, I'm going to be honest, open and honest, and just give you every day what's coming to my mind. I haven't brought any hankies out. I've been told off. One of my followers says, would it be hard to bring a tissue out with you? And anybody else would have took it a bad way, but they're right, you know what I mean? And my partner's like, you should just bring a hanky with you instead of, you know, because to some people, like, I grew up like this thingy in the nose and, you know, but it's just, you know, it's just the way I've been brought up. That's the street, innit, you know. But listen, guys, I hope you're all good. I am absolutely in a great place. I've been looking after my partner, like, because I really missed her yesterday, so I've been really, really, really pampering her today and give her a wee few massages, and she's got a sore ankle, so she has. And yeah, I've been just looking after her, you know what I mean. But she chased me. She goes, "Go on, you do your video." And I'm going to make dinner. I made a breakfast this morning for bacon, eggs, and sausage and beans. And yeah, so I'm going to make dinner tonight. Don't know what I'm going to have. I think it's something nice to have, so I will. Yeah, it's all good food, you know, just plain, like sausage, mashed potatoes. You know what I mean? Chops, chips, you know, bit of gravy. You know, something simple, you know. Don't really like talking about food because I know not everybody. That's why I don't like people that put stuff up on their on like taking photographs of their food and all. I hate that, so I do, you know, I really do. And I say, stop doing that. You don't need that. Not everybody's got food. Some people are sitting there really hungry, and you're putting up a fucking photograph of your fucking Sunday dinner. I mean, that's not nice, you know. But people just don't think. They don't think like that. You know, we live in a world where everybody shows off. But I'm going to try and calm myself down a wee bit because I just got myself really wound up there because I'm just going right back to that time when all that happened. You know what I mean? And you don't know these people, you know. Some of these people just, honestly, like, you know, not the girls or the mum and all that. They're up. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. Really, they're genuinely nice people. You know what I mean? The ones, but the ones I'm talking about, the girls that are involved. You know, there's nothing against them, nothing against the woman, the mothers, and all that. You know, I just think, you know, they're all vulnerable. You know, vulnerable people. You know, and we have them, and you know them. You have them in your own areas. You know what I mean? But there's others around that are just some of the horriblest people you'll meet in life. Honestly, two in particular. Ugh. But yeah, they're all gangsters, aren't they? You know what I mean, guys? They're all gangsters. Slept with a gangster, maybe. That's about it. But yeah, I get these. Haven't felt like this in a while, so feels good to be able to vent. You know what I mean? Because I think I've been holding everything back and stuff like that, and you know, and yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. My head's a lot clearer. Everything's a lot clearer. a lot brighter. You know, I'm a lot brighter as well. Like even when I wake up in the morning, like boom, really bright. You know, where before I would wake up and I would have some cannabis and that would keep me hingy for the day and I would be quite chilled out and I wouldn't be wanting to do anything silly or lose it and all that. And it was easy. To be honest with you, Tulip, this way. We're not going that way. Somebody with a dog. To be honest with you, where my head was, because one of the biggest reasons I didn't want to get to jail was because of my dogs, you know. I didn't have anybody to look after my dogs. And then I've all my stuff, you know, I've got a house full of stuff. You know, I mean full of stuff that my wife had gathered and, you know, my wife's mum and dad had gathered, you know, stuff that's, most of it will go to, my wife's grandson whenever I've got it all sorted, you know. It's all there for him. I'm going to wait till he's a wee bit older and he's nobody around him to manipulate him, you know, and take advantage of him. I want to make sure he's able to look after his own stuff and he's got the sense and that about him. I'm hoping he's a new era of that family. Who?
There's people over there hitting this head, hitting him with a ball and kicking him.
Right. I'll have a word with him, guys. Yeah, it's very strange. Them kids getting bullied, man. It's a shame. We shall go and have a word. We shall go and have a word. See who they are anyway. See if I know their dads. What's going on, boys? See if I can give kids a wee lesson here. What's going on? Are you bullying that wee boy? Because I'll tell you what will happen. See if he's bullied people at your age. See when you're bigger. Who was it? So. Right, I'm sorry. I apologise. What happened?
I don't know. Wait, what's that?
The wee kids there. Did you not see it?
No, I never see any of it.
No, the wee kids are. One of them's crying. Who are they? Where are they from?
No, it wasn't us.
Sorry, I like your top, by the way. I apologise, young man. Yeah, is that your team as well?
No.
No. Who do you support? The dog's alright, the dog's okay. Go on, tell me, who do you support?
Heads.
Hibs? Aye, well, I thought you would have gone to say Celtic or. Don't be letting them bully me. They're tiny, you know what I mean? If you see it, just tell them. If you know their dads, just tell their dads. They're too far away. I can't be asked walking away. But you know what'll happen? See, when they're older, they'll get bullied. That's what happens. Everything you do when you're young. They're only wee tiny guys, you know what I mean? But what happens in life, it's karma. It all comes around in the circle. Whatever you do to somebody bad, it'll happen to you later on in life. It's a funny old world, eh? Right, guys, have a good time. Sorry about that, young man. I'm really sorry. Come on. Young guy, man. I don't know if he's telling me lies or not. You know what I mean? Point the finger to the other lad. No, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he seems alright. You know. Don't you come in here. Fair play to him, like. That's what I would have been like. You talking to, mister? You know, I would have looked at me and, you know, I thought, he's not catching me, you know what I mean? I probably would catch him. I'm quite fast. Come on, Tulip. Come on, Tulip. We tiny guys, man. Crying is. I hate seeing that. That just reminds me of me. You know what I mean? But, oh, good. Yeah. It's a funny old world we live in it? But, yeah, no, in general, super happy. Right, we'll go back this way. Come on, we'll go. That dog will be away. In general, really happy. Everything's going really well. Yeah. Everybody that matters to me is around me and close. All my best friends. Especially because I'm doing this now. They're all... Because I've lost touch with quite a lot of people now, and obviously this is going around where I live. You know, I'm not going to say my real name, but Freedom Dad's doing videos and talking about religion and all that. You know, I've got mates that are mental, you know what I mean, over in Belfast, and they're like, what the fuck? You know, so Yeah, I've been getting a lot of people in contact with me I haven't spoken to in years, and like, oh, are you still alive? I'm like, yeah, I'm still alive, And yeah, so because when I was like when I was 18, I went to England, you know what I mean, and I got 6 years in England, like, and then came home, and then I got 3 years, and then I had 10 years. But when I was back home, I was very low key, I didn't go under, I didn't go under the thingy, so I didn't jump about, I was keeping because of the things I was doing. I was needing to keep a low profile, you know. That's the way I like to live, you know what I mean. I was never a show off, you know what I mean. Never ever a show off. Just like most important thing to me was my country and my countrymen, and you know, yeah, everything that matters to me was my country, Nothing else mattered, you know what I mean? And I listened to the people that were in charge of me, and I led my life the way they wanted me to. Like, we never went to remembrance. We were always told not to go to remembrance days. Like everybody would go to this church on Remembrance Day that were us, and a couple of us would be pulled aside and say, "Don't be going. Keep your face out. Chill up, chill up. Oh, she's all right. Chill up. Come on, this way. Come here. Chill up, chill up. Come on, come on, come on. Chill up. Come on." Nightmare, so she is. She sees a dog. Come on, come here. She sees a dog and just wants to run up and say hello. And that guy looks a wee bit worried. Stay. That guy does look a wee bit worried. Now I can't get the bloody harness on. 2 seconds, guys. Because of my gloves. Sorry about this, guys. And I always get nervous and ingy because I'm scared of her just running up there, really dangerous dog. I've got my glasses on, so I can't see who it is. But yeah. So I done what I was told all the time, and then I got the 18 years. So it just disappeared, you know what I mean? People, obviously it was all over the news and all that, but you know what it's like, goes on the news, everybody's like, oh, I think he got 18 years, and everything else that came along with that. All right, son, hey, come on, you. Everything else, I just know, what I mean, my defence was I was working for Special Branch, so that didn't go down too well. And but like I say, everybody forgets, I've told you some stories about me when I was getting out of jail, and I'd be like thinking everybody's like, oh, Freedom Dad's back, and I'd be going up with my mates, and they'd be like, oh, where have you been? Not mates, but people I know in my area. They'd be like, where have you been? And I'm like, I'm in the jail. I just got out yesterday. Fuck, oh, that's right. Yeah, that was an eye opener for me. Because when you're in there, you think everybody's thinking about you, talking about you, oh, Freedom Dad, that's got 18 or 16 or 8 years or whatever it was at the time, 6 years, 18 years and 3 years, just to clear that up. I don't know where the all them other years came from, but yeah. But like the 18 years got dropped to 15 years after so long through good legal teams, but yeah, so I've lost my train of thought there. But yeah, come on, my girl. Yeah, a lot of friends. I got people popping up from all over, and some people that been big parts of my life. That but you know yourself. How many people have you met in your life and really good friends, and then you just lose contact? So you can imagine what it's like for me. You know what I mean? And then I've always got my loyal friends in Liverpool and my loyal friends in Glasgow, and yeah. I'm a very lucky guy. I'm not saying I'm lucky. I'm a nice guy. I'm a decent guy. I don't do anybody any harm. It doesn't harm me. I'm not a bully, never ever been a bully or been anything like that, I've always given people chances, and I've always seen the good in people. And that's why I've always been a mediator, in the jails with different gangs. I've been a mediator for a gang in Glasgow. I've been a mediator between organisations in Belfast. And that was when I was young, you know what I mean? I told you about that one. Without going into too much detail, and that was the Donegal Pass in East Belfast, So, yeah, I've always been that kind of guy that, been able to get on with everybody, and I've always had that opportunity to be used, for want of a better way of saying things, to help out in such a way. But no, I'm lucky, but I'm not going to say that's why I'm lucky. because I'm a good person. And when you're a good person, you know, you will have good friends, and you will have loyal friends that will, you know what I mean? I've friends that have been with me for years and years and years. Got friends that would die for me. You know, I've got friends that would go to jail for me, you know, and they've told me that, and they've proved it. They really have, like I say, I have to hold someone back sometimes. They're a fucking nightmare. But you learn you learn just not to start saying. I learn now not to say certain things. You know, when they say everything's good, even if something isn't good. You know, I just go because I'm on my own, because I'm an orphan, because I've no family. Then I think some of my friends feel like they've got to protect me. Sometimes, you know. Yeah, I'm very fortunate that way, guys. I really am. But I've never used it. I've never ever used it. Like I say, I've done a lot of stuff, a lot of stopping people in my life right back. Even when the guy got turned Queen's evidence against us all, had to put a lot of effort in to stop that because I was in the jail. I was wanting to get parole. If anything had to happen to him when I was still in the jail, I would have fucked me for parole. I wouldn't have got out early, you know. And then by the time I did get out, I met my wife and everything, and you know, sort of didn't want to get put back in the jail after my wife waiting for me. You know what I mean? And then when you look at it in the light of day, and you're like, in the prison, you're fantasizing of how many different ways you're going to end them, you know. But when you come out in the reality, you're like, he's not worth it. He's really not worth it. You know, he's got to live with that himself. I couldn't imagine doing that to one of my mates. Just standing in court and pointing my mates out. Wow. Ah, man, maybe he does live with it. Who knows? Who knows? You know what I mean? But I couldn't do that. You know, could never do that. I think too highly of myself. You know, I'm not too much of a proud man to cooperate with the police ever. You know, and I think they stopped asking me to cooperate with them. I think by the time I was about 26, they knew I wasn't never gonna. You know, when I was 16, I had bigger and harder men crumbling around me in police stations, and I still held my own. You know, people I have around me. I'm going to bring a girl soon to the platform. She actually, I got a message from her. I seen it this morning, and her mum was murdered. So he was, and he was involved in a murder on Marie Smith back in Belfast. Now, there's still people alive involved in that murder, so I've got to be careful, you know. But Jimmy is dead. He was murdered. And she sent me a message, and she was like, Mark, I know the truth of what happened. I know what he did. Why didn't you tell me? You know? And I'm like sending her a message back. You mean, what do you expect me to do? I tell you that what guys are doing what? Me think about what you're saying. You know, we would never talk like that. You know, the only reason I can talk about it now is because he's dead. You know what I mean? But yeah, he done this and yeah, he done that. That's who he was, you know. But it's a shame because, you know, she didn't know, you know. And it's sad. It is sad because she ended up getting put in a mental hospital because you know, the guy got murdered in front of her. He died in her arms in a pub, shot in the back 5 times trying to get away from the gunman. I got arrested for the murder, I'll be honest with you, like, I got arrested for that murder, you know. But it wasn't me, so it wasn't. But yeah, but I'm still friends with her, and you know, I'm godfather to her daughter's baby boy that was just born. You know, so like I say, life is very confusing and very strange, and you never know what's around the corner. But you know, some bad people do get what they deserve in the end of the day, you know. And sometimes you reap what you sow, you know, there's no two ways about it. And I'm no judge, and I'm no jury, and I'm certainly no assassin. So I want to make that clear now, because I have been, a lot of people do think I committed that murder. A lot of people think I committed a couple of murders, and I never, you know. But this is what the police used to do. They would arrest you, and it would be all over the news, like, 2 men arrested for the murder of blah, blah, blah. So everybody in Belfast would be like, oh, who is it? Next thing your name's getting fed about all the pubs. And, you know, that puts you in so much danger. It really does. Like, just after me getting arrested for that, they tried to come through my door to kill me. You know what I mean? All because I was arrested for that matter, you know. So yeah, the police know what they're doing, and I've told you about them when they used to arrest me. And then, because when you're in the back of a meat wagon, you can't see out because it's a meat wagon. It's like an armoured vehicle, a grey armoured vehicle that the police use, and you don't know where you're going when you're in the back of them. And they used to pick me up in East Belfast and drop me off in a Republican area. Swear to God, they did. Like twice they've done it. Tulip. Twice they've done that to me, and then they arrested me one time and took me to the Short Strand. This is a Republican stronghold police station, and released me from there. And so I had to get out of there and get back into my own areas. Mate, as far as I'm concerned, they're trying to get me killed. The police have tried to get me killed so many times. You know, there's no two ways about it. That's what they were doing, you know. And I know other people that they've done this to, and other people watching this will probably go, yeah, that's happened to me as well. You know, this is how bad it was back in the day, guys, you know. But listen, this is a long one. I did promise I would bring a long one. It's a Sunday Monday, eh? You know what I mean? But, yeah, life is good, guys. Life is very, very good, you know. I've got a Unite the North. Absolutely amazing, guys. So much support. We're getting bigger and bigger. Obviously, we're a small group that's running it, but we're getting bigger, as in the actual group. We're up to thousands and thousands and thousands now. Mostly down to Captain Britain. He's been an amazing asset to the organisation. You can call it an organisation. Unite the North is an organisation. It's an organisation of like-minded souls, you know. So I haven't really branched into Scotland yet. You know what I mean? We will, you know. We will start sort of recruiting in Scotland, you know. But yeah, it's Unite the North is the north of Scotland and the north of England. We're hopefully going to get a branch in Northern Ireland, so unite the north and the south. And see how well that goes down, eh? But yeah, you walk a very dangerous line doing this kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And I do know that. And but I've got the right people supporting me. I've checked, you know, everything's good. I'm keeping myself safe that way. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to stop for nobody, you know. Because, you know, if you believe in something, you do it. You know, that's the way I look at it. If you really believe in something in your heart, you will succeed at it, you know. And yeah, I'm doing it for my daughter. I'm not doing it for me. I'm not going to be here much longer, but my daughter's going to be here, and I want to make sure I pave the path for her, and hopefully she follows in my footsteps and becomes political. But like I say, becomes a leader. You know, that's what I want. I was offered leadership when I was, age were we? 19? No, it's just after I'd done the 6 in England. And I was really young, 23. And we turned it down, you know, so I'm quite proud of that. I was offered a leadership role in my back home. And like I say, I turned it down because it wasn't as good as it sounds, you know what I mean? You're more like a community leader and having to deal with domestics and everything else. It was just a nightmare, and, you know, deciding who gets shot, who gets their arms broken, stuff like that, and who needs to be taken out of the game completely. And I just wanted to travel, you know, which I did, you know. And I had the pleasure of traveling the world, America, Canada, all over Europe, you know. Some amazing times, scary times. But looking back, wow, unbelievable. What a story I've got to tell one day, guys. What a story I have to tell, you know. But I need to wait for another few people a day before I can start talking about anything like that. And that's the truth. I'm not going to talk about anything I've done when anybody else is alive. I'm not going to jeopardise any of my friends. And if I go before them, then I'm sorry, I'm going to take it to my grave, guys. But I know you understand that. But listen, guys, I'm going to wrap it up because I'm going to go and find out what I'm going to have for dinner. I'm going to look after my good lady friend. So I want you all to take care. Thank you so much for getting me into my videos again. I'm sorry for a wee bit, you know, It's just I'm always going to come to you with openly honesty and like exactly how I'm feeling that day and what's going through my mind, you know. And yeah, it is what it is. I apologise to you. I apologise to no other man, you know. I hope you're having a good Sunday and stay safe. And God bless you all. I am going to have to take my glove off because I'm not going to use my tongue because it's going to look a wee bit weird. So it is. Um, Stopping the recording with my tongue. So listen, have a great day, guys, and God bless you all.